Hello. So this is going to be a remake of my Skip Beat review. It's going to be more thought out, um, and I feel better just because I didn't like the last one I did, and it's really, really long. So yeah, that's what this is going to be about. Enjoy. So what is Skip Beat? Skip Beat is a manga, novel, comic thing by Yokishi Nakamura. It is published and serialized in Japan in the magazine Hana Toyome, and then, of course, made into volumes. It was published back originally at first. The first volume came out in 2003. The English version was started publishing in 2006. As I'm holding it here, I have 1 through 21 in Omnibus by Viz Media. You can buy them in singlets, but this just saved me money. However, I have to buy the rest of the rest of them in singlet volume forms, regular forms. There are only 32 volumes available in English, and there's 34 in Japanese. The 34th one came out recently, and by recently I mean several months ago. Um, and I don't know if that's the last one. I haven't really checked because I haven't read much about that one. But it's the most recent. It's a cute cover, by the way. This series in particular, also has an anime. I think I've seen the anime. Um, yeah, and it's only the first season, so it cuts off to I think around where volume 6 or 7 would be. That's where it cuts off. So it's not very long. I don't know what the focus of that particular show is. But there's also like a live drama, an actual drama with real people. I guess we'd call that a live drama. Made in Taiwan as well. So there's different medias that you can view the story if manga is not your favorite suit. Well, the premise is it's about a girl named Kyoko Mogami, who moved from Kyoto to Tokyo with her love Sho. And Sho is wanting to be a very famous, cool singer, idol type thing. And, well, once he gets to a certain level of fame that he doesn't really need her anymore, he abandons her. He casts her away. And she doesn't take it very well, and essentially is on this set mission to get her revenge on him by entering showbiz and being more famous than he is, essentially. It is a shoujo manga, so do know if you don't like girly mangas that this is not for you. It is a comedy revenge story, but it does, however, of what I noticed, seeing that I didn't see this coming, but it becomes a revenge romance comedy story. Even though Kyoko is a teenager, there is no true school scenes. If you're looking for a school environment or anything like that, like a lot of shoujo of what I've seen do take place, and they take place in school. This doesn't have that. So it's about showbiz and getting revenge. That's essentially what this is about. So for some exciting part, the art style used in this manga, what is it like? This is all my personal opinion, of course. I'm not an expert. So for me, the art style is very. Oh, I got a text. It's from my boyfriend. It's very reminiscent of the '90s. It reminds me a lot of Sailor Moon, the way Sailor Moon's kind of drawn. And the hair, it's very prevalent in the hair of the decade of that particular decade. Of course, it's very modern. It's still current running series, so it does have a lot of modern things in it. However, it is still the art style is reminiscent of that decade. Her males have a weird proportion to them at times, and sometimes you'll get used to it. It's just strange at first. Paneling wise, the way she panels things out, Miss Nakamura, is very cinematic. You feel like you're watching it through a movie. And however, as much as I love that, it does have a tendency of making plot arcs take a long time. Certain plot arcs will take a certain amount of several acts and chapters to several volumes. So it takes a while to get through things because of the way it's drawn out. And also she uses chibi. So if you like that kind of chibi form type stuff, that will be in this story and it's heavily used. But it's not used for anything other than humor. So, who are the characters? The characters that you really need to care about. There are tons of characters in the story, however, that you're introduced to, but then they're kind of cast away and you never really see them again, or they have no actual true importance. It's just for story. The first one that you're going to need to know about is Kyoko, which is the main character right here. I do have a new book in my hand for this purpose. Character-wise, she seems a bit innocent in a lot of ways. In my last video, I did say she was naive a lot, and I wasn't wording myself correctly. She is a bit naive about certain topics, but on top of that, she's very dark and she's very hateful. And when you make her angry, it's very prevalent in the story where you see that and it's drawn out that you can feel her rage. Like they use demons as a kind of thing in here. But however, she's very determined, and she's determined to get a revenge, she's very self-motivated. On top of that, she's very polite, because she was raised in a Japanese inn, so she has a very sense of being very using a lot of honorifics. I'm gonna take a wild guess that in the Japanese version of this, she speaks entirely in honorifics, with a lot of politeness, just because that's how her character comes across in the English volume. Next character you really need to know about, that you're kind of introduced to, is Sho. Character-wise, is very cocky. He's very cool, but he's kind of a loser, and he tries to hide it by being cool because he is in the spotlight. However, he does have some jealousy issues against Ren, who is this character right here. And of course, that kind of escalates to other things that involve more of Kyoko. But he has jealousy against Ren because of how popular and how handsome he is considered in Japan in this version in this story. And kind of wants to, beat him and be superior than him. So there's that jealousy. He is obnoxious as hell. And like I said, he does not like Ren. Ren, however, which is this guy on the cover, he's an actor. He's a very popular, very famous actor, and he's very well liked. He's very polite and gentle to people. He tends to not really show his true feelings to people. He sends a smile and always smile, and everyone loves him for it. But he hides everything in niceties. It's a good way to. And he tends to show his kind of cruel, mean side to Kyoko in the very beginning. And of course, then it does become a romance. So it does eventually become a love triangle between those three characters. And like I said, Sho's jealousy grows beyond, I think, that. Final thoughts. Problem-wise, when it comes, and this is my own opinions, obviously, as this whole thing is, problems that come with the series, like cliches or tropes, I don't really know what they would be, just because I'm not very familiar with this this group of manga. I'm not very. A lot of the anime I watch is generally shonen because that's what my boyfriend watches. So this is really my own first dabble into female comics, shoujo comics, and I don't know what the issues, cliches would be. But however, I know I'll be probably comparing other shoujo I read to this one, just because it's my first. However, that being said, the one cultural standpoint that I think is a bit weird for, I think, Westerners in particular, I don't know about other Asian countries, but I know for Americans this would be really strange, is the age. The age of the characters is a bit strange for me, and I can get past it, but I think for some people they can't. And I see it a lot in a lot of anime and in what I've seen manga, and that this age thing does occur. And the thing is, Kyoko is only like 16 or 15 years old when this story starts. I think she's 16. However, in volume 21, she does turn 17, which I think is a better age. But I have a tendency of forgetting that she is, 16 through most of it, because she's never in high school. Most 15, 16-year-olds don't, kind of do their own thing. They have curfews and they don't have jobs like she does. She actually has like actual jobs and she's making a career. So, and most, people that age don't. And Ren is 20. 21 years old, and which is of course better age-wise, but I think a lot of people will find weird that, a 20-year-old is having love interest in a teenager that's 16. However, Ren does have a self-discussion of the moral judgment about dating someone that's that young. But if I remember right, he more has an issue with the fact that she's still in high school, which I don't know if that's better or not. But whatever, I do recommend it. Do watch not watch the show, read the manga, or watch the show. There is the show, but definitely highly recommended. You can get it through Viz Media, so through their website you can find out where you can buy this series.